as his YouTube defibrillator.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining again for another episode of SEO Fight Club. I'm saying hello in the chat and reminding people to ask questions. So we have another Q&A episode today. So any topics are welcome. Any questions are welcome. We'll just start with a couple things. Again, I'd like to thank Magic PR for sponsoring the channel, and we hope to get started in our PR experiments to create PR related content for you guys on how to use press releases in order to benefit SEO. And so that's our goal in doing this, is to kind of share what we do and what we learn and what mistakes we made and things of that nature. So that's the plan there. And then additionally, I want to talk for a minute about Digital Unfiltered. This is Chris Palmer and Craig Campbell's first SEO conference. It's in Vegas. It's at Caesars. It's August 22nd to the 24th. And the lineup is clearly amazing. And so I wanted to drop a little bit of FOMO and talk about what I'm going to talk about at this conference. And so I think, it's my opinion, okay, so this is an opinion. It's my opinion that you SEOs out there, you're working way too hard. Like, you guys are doing SEO hard mode. Like, I see it from the kinds of questions that come into me and the types of comments I get about the data in SEO. And I see people just constantly hitting these problems where they're working way too hard. They're trying way too hard. And it's like, you're just making it all so damn hard. So my topic is going to be putting SEO into easy mode. I'm going to go tactically through a whole bunch of different aspects of SEO and just simplify and make it easy. I'm going to try to help you see how easy it can be if you just get creative. If you just stop and think before you dive into, the work you're about to do. And so I am going to be talking about tactical easy mode. And so I'm going to cover a ton of tactics with totally easy solutions, totally easy ways to make money, total easy ways to climb the corporate ladder. That's the goal, is easy mode. So what do you think of my topic? You think it's any good or total garbage?
I'll be there taking notes.
What do you think, Clint? Do you think SEOs in general try too hard, work too hard?
I would argue that they work too hard because they're not using their brains. I had a big old rant about this yesterday on my show, how people are just kind of chasing this shiny object thing, and it's the easy button, and it's a internet marketing, make money online mentality. And because of that internet marketing, make money online mentality, they are working too hard. They are doing stuff that they don't need to do. They are building 10,000 page sites for no damn reason. So I like the concept. It'll be interesting to watch it for sure. I like seeing new things and getting new things from conferences myself. So I'm looking forward to that. However, I wonder if the challenge was kind of laid down there right now, but essentially, are you going to go there and get Ted's information and find the easy shit that you want to do because you're lazy and not do everything and not apply everything, or are you just looking for hacks and stuff? And quite frankly, I think this hacks is what is ruining our industry at the end of the day, because everyone's looking for hacks and then no one has any damn clue whatsoever how to apply that stuff into a system that is consistent and actually helps clients. And then that client pool are the ones that pay the price. And then when people try to go in and actually do it right, we're running into that wall that was created by our predecessors. So that's my continued 2-day rant.
I hear you, but I think people are gonna like what I'm talking about because I've hand tested every tactic, so I know if done properly, the results can be fantastic. B, they're foundation. So these are concepts that will serve you well in probably many different disciplines, not just SEO, but I'm focusing on the SEO. And then finally, my goal is to get you to think. I want to point out all the stupid areas where people just aren't thinking, where they're staying stubbornly naive and it's costing them, something more expensive than money. It's costing them time and hard effort. And so all of those things, they eat away at the profitability of your venture, your business. And so it's all core to making money and doing more and being happier and getting results. And I think you're dead on. The people that suffer are the end clients. When you work too hard, it means the end client is getting less value. And so I want to point out these ways where you can deliver value fast. And I want to point out ways where you can cover your ass and stop getting fired so damn much. And it's not even hard. You just got to think about the order of operations of things. And I want to point out these ways where you can wow your customers with other people's work. And I want to show you the most common problems in SEO that all SEOs are ignoring, and they're so easy to fix if you just stop ignoring them. And I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be huge. So Lee, any spoilers on your topic?
Generally speaking, I'm going to talk about if you can rank, you can bank. So we're going to talk about a few little things that you can do because it tends to be focused on affiliate. So analyzing the space to determine sometimes whether you should even go after certain terms. That's kind of generally where I'm headed right now. So
well, that's interesting because John Mueller just said online today or yesterday that keyword research does nothing for SEO. And I thought that quote was funny because it was spoken like a day one marketing intern. I couldn't believe he actually said it. But what do you think? Does the research not matter at all?
If you've watched me any at all over the past several years, you know that I live my life by John Mueller's words. So I was wrong. I will change my topic.
Yeah, I think they caught John before his cup of morning coffee on that question. So I'm going to chalk that one up to John's having a bad day. That wasn't his best response.
I don't know. And sometimes you don't know the context that's going on in somebody's head, because Google is more than just about keywords. You've got entities, topics, things like that, which go, beyond just, hey, stick your keyword on the page 100% of the time and you will rank for that, particular keyword. So I haven't seen the quote, but on its face, it is incorrect.
Well, before we get too off topic, Clint, do you have any spoilers for your digital unfiltered talk?
Not right now. Not that I can think of. I'm going back into schema. I'm going to be talking about link building with schema, connecting properties, silos, etc. And a little bit about how you can do advanced schema if you're one of those people that's kind of stuck with plugins and you have to use them for whatever reason. We'll show you how to connect all that stuff and get more out of them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna hype your topic because I've seen enough of your talks to know that Clint is very tactical. He's gonna show you some stuff he's using currently to get solid results in the SEO he does for clients every day. And so if you want to find out, how to do something that's working right now today in SEO, that's usually what Clint brings to the table. And so I recommend you come and see his talk too. So even though he's not sharing too much, we can look at his past performance and we can gauge these types of things tend to be common in his presentations. So if you want some tactics, you come see Clint. And also check out his show because he often shares similar things on his weekly show, SEO This Week. So be sure to check that out too. And that airs on Mondays, so check it out. All right, so let's see, where are we at? If you missed it, Olga had me as a guest on her podcast last Monday, so you can go check that out. It was a very fun show to do. And so a lot of people got a lot of great feedback on that. People enjoyed it. So apparently it was one of my better rants. So be sure to check it out. And thanks again to Charles for doing these. I have a backlog of them to add, so I'm going to try to do that later today as well. Get caught up on adding the minutes to the episodes. So I have 3 or 4 more to add to recent episodes. So those are coming, and thank you again, Charles. And the last thing to remind everyone is Holly Stark's Dark AI is coming up in December. And we also have SEO Rockstars in October. So these are my last 2 events, but I guess there's also SEO spring training in April, which isn't on this list. So that's happening again. So those are the events coming up. And I think everyone should try to come to one of these events because you get to hang out with us. You can ask us questions. We are open books at the bar at these events. So we'll talk about your website. We'll tell you about our secret SEO tips and tricks. We do all that stuff. I mean, I haven't seen anybody at one of these events, at the networking events or the mixers, say, well, I have an answer to that question, but I'm not going to tell you. That's just not what happens. Everybody is dying to share their best secrets at these things. So it's a great way to make friends in the industry, make good connections, learn valuable info, find out about tools you're not using. There's just so much value if you can get out there and talk to people. All right, so let's get to some Q&A. So I will stop the share and let me find.
We had one come in on the Zoom chat. Is Digital Unfiltered being recorded?
I do not know. This is the first time they've done it, so I can't say in the past they never recorded, so I don't know that detail. I'd have to go find out and come back. And I can't do that live on the air. Good question, though. So definitely worth finding out. So I would ping Chris Palmer on that or Craig Campbell they'd probably let you know right away. So tag them on Facebook or something, they'd probably fire back. All right, let's see. Any low-hanging fruit in Search Console that you think is underused? Well, to start, I think that Search Console is not, accounting ready data. Like, it's very flawed data, it's highly sampled data. And so the idea behind the data in Search Console is that it's meant to be like a diagnostic sample. Like, here's a sample of this so you can see if there's a problem. Here's a sample of that so you can see if there's a problem. But it's never like all of something. You can't pay out commissions based on what you see in Search Console because it's just incomplete data. And so it limits the types of questions you can answer to the types of questions that you could statistically answer with sampling. And so, that limits the types of things you can do with it. I think one of the things you need to do is that if you're not ranking for your keyword and you've tuned the page for the keyword, one of the things you need to look for is, well, what keywords are getting clicks for the page? Because I've used that recently as a diagnostic way to see if we are ranking for the terms we are tuning for. And sometimes Google does this weird thing where it forces you to rank for keywords that you are not tuning for. And when that happens, you need to find out the keywords that you're ranking for, and you need to detune those so Google has no choice but to rank you for the thing you're tuning for. Now, this is not common. This is something that's happened twice in a year to me personally, but it does happen like twice in a year. And so, I would want you, as part of your diagnostic check on why a page won't rank for a keyword, I would want you to look at that to see what it is ranking for and to see if that makes any sense compared to what the page is overwhelmingly tuned for. And if the answer is no, that doesn't make sense, then you kind of have a clue that something is going on topically on Google's end that is running you off the rails. And so I think that is a great diagnostic use of Search Console. What do you think, Lee? Any diagnostic uses of Search Console?
Yeah, actually, there's a few, but the one that I was looking at this morning with Roman Barnes, we were looking at a particular thing, and inside of Search Console on the left under the settings, there is a crawl stats report, which is extraordinarily useful at diagnosing technical errors on your site, because you can see where the crawler goes, where it gets stuck. And in this particular case, one of the sites we were looking at this morning, about 60% of the crawl budget that was going through there was going to 404 pages, and they had a plugin that was building canonicals and things to pages that don't exist. So, you can see that right there in the crawl stats report. Just all kinds of problems with Google trying to get through your site and, what it's seeing. So that's a good first step at looking at stuff.
What do you think, Clint? Any underused areas of Search Console?
I use the queries section and sort by impressions and look for opportunities. It's mainly what I use Search Console for.
Yeah, another one that comes to mind is Google Systems. This is an actual noble thing that Google did. They actually put in a flag that says when the problem is Google's fault. And so if you're looking at your pages not indexed and you look at the reasons not indexed, if they say Google systems, that's Google saying the reason it wasn't indexed was Google systems. And the thing about that is that those do not self-correct. Google does not go back in and fix those problems for you. You need to request indexing on those again to get Google to reprocess them, because Google will not go back in and fix them automatically. And it'll stay broken and not indexed for a long time. So if you see under your pages not indexed Google systems, note that those URLs need manual request indexing again to be fixed.
Yeah, we lovingly refer to that. It's the "we screwed up, you're on your own" error.
Yeah. And Carolyn Holzman, I believe, was the first to point that out to me. So that's where that clue came from. Let's see. Let's go to the next question. Most I see are more concerned with quantity and automation. I don't know what that's referring to. Let's see. All right. Does Google score for topical authority only during updates? Does Google score for topical authority only during updates? No. The reason we know that the answer is no to that is because you can tune your on-page and request indexing, and when Google is in, good working condition, you can see ranking improvements by the next morning for on-page. And so because of that pattern of, I adjusted my entities on page and I rank better the next morning, we know that it is not an update by update calculation. It is much more real time than that. Any thoughts on that, Lee?
Yeah, I'm not sure that they have an overall topical, authority for a site. That would be an interesting to prove or disprove. But I agree with you fundamentally. Yeah, if you can optimize a page and get it to rank, without having your whole site rescored, then that notion has holes in it.
And that's an interesting point that you brought up. Is it a site level thing? And here's the question I would ask, because I kind of view the problem as Google is a URL system, and I'm very good at tuning a single page to rank for a single keyword. And I've made a very long career overdoing that. So do I need to have a topical site that is focused and with a perfect geometry in order to get a page to rank for a keyword? And my answer is no. I rank just fine without that. Now, that might work, it might be beneficial, but is it minimum viable SEO? Do you have to do that to rank well? And I never had. And so, but don't let me tell you it's wrong. There's more than one way to rank a page. And so, that type of, I'm going to have a topical silo structure on my website, and that'll make my page rank for a keyword. That may work. There's a lot of evidence that does work. But it's, I wonder if that's the best money in doing like client SEO, or is that overkill? What do you think, Clint?
I don't think I have too much to add to what you guys are saying.
All right. Let's see. When building links to my money site, should I use strictly just brand, or should the anchor always be brand plus keyword? I'm going to throw this one to Clint first.
I answered that question on my show yesterday, so I'm not going to do it again. So I'm sure they're looking for your two opinions.
So the answer is watch SEO this week. You get the answer to your Fight Club questions a day before Fight Club. All right. Well, my my answer to that is no. I think brand can help in some contexts, but I mean, odds are any real business, any legitimate business, I mean, their homepage is going to get a ton of brand links no matter what you do. Like that's kind of almost natural fallout, and the tree trunk is thickest, that's your homepage, the tree trunk. And so when I'm building links, I'm usually trying to build links to inner pages because those are the opportunity. And I don't want to build a lot of keywords to my homepage because it's messy. So the reason I say it's messy is that if you put too many keywords on a homepage, it becomes a fragile house of cards. You end up ranking page 2 for all of them because you're topically all over the place. And then when you go to push any one of them to top of page 1, you wreck all the other ones. And so you build this fragile house of cards trying to rank the homepage for everything. And so that's a bad path to go down. Now, if your business only needs 1 or 2 keywords, fine, you're golden, put it on the homepage, off to the races. But if you're growing in locations and you're adding services and you have tons of other keywords, then doing that all on the homepage is a mistake. The other issue is that channel marketing outside of SEO, we got to take a step back and look at the big picture. Channel marketing outside of SEO will drive organic searches, organic brand searches to the homepage. So you put up a billboard for a lawyer, top law, Los Angeles. People see that and remember it, and they Google top law Los Angeles, and boom, homepage. And so you cannot claim all of the traffic, the brand search traffic on the homepage as being an SEO thing, even though it came through search, because that billboard caused a spike, that TV commercial caused a spike, the social media campaign caused a spike because they all remember it and search for it later. There's shared attribution. And so the homepage you can't claim full credit for on the brand terms. Now, when you claim an inner page for criminal defense attorney, that you can take all credit for because you got search traffic from Google on a non-branded keyword to an inner page on the website. That was SEO. There is no doubt. That is 100% attribution. And when you do that, when you take that formula and you repeat it all over a website, that's also how you get the maximum amount of number 1 rankings, is 1 keyword per page, so that you can aggressively tune the 1 keyword on the page to get it to perform. And then you lather, rinse, and repeat on those important keywords. I don't think that when you're building links to a money site, that brand and brand plus keyword is the best thing for SEO. I think, it might be all right for the business. I don't necessarily believe it's best for SEO. What are your thoughts, Clint?
Try being answering again. I'm not doing it. Come on, you clown.
Watch SEO this week. That's the
no. The short version is I do brand links to tier 1. Tier 1 is brand to the website. So this brand talked about, Ted Kabitis talked about link building. Ted Kabitis talked about this, and then your brand would be Ted Kabitis, right? So I link to tier 1. So that's the purpose of doing that, especially when I'm linking from I wouldn't say like, let's go unnatural locations, or I'm using PRs, that kind of stuff where there's a lot of syndication. I definitely use brands over there. Now 10,000 ways to do it. Like you choose not to do brands. But with my linking in the way that I do linking, I can do brand and pass up keyword associations through the rest of the tiers in my link building. I don't need branding. I don't need exact match or partial match or title at tier 1. So it's again, but it's all about, how are you building those links, right? So if I'm doing press releases, I'm going to use the brand. If I'm using PBNs from really good ass domains, then I'm probably going to go exact match. But that's all things that you learn when you figure out your own system to building backlinks.
Any thoughts, Lee?
Yeah, I was going to go. I mean, Clint kind of covered it on the, it depends, what are you trying to use them for? What are you trying to accomplish, with the page, all those considerations that he laid out. And I think everybody's got their own methods for, picking what, when, and how many. So we'll just leave it at that.
All right, next question. Are there any SEO benefits to use Google Ads? Well, I think in terms of a ranking factor, I mean, there's arguments for and against those theories. Like, Google would want to rank people who give them money. It's pay to win. And then there are people who would say, oh, no, Google would want to make you suffer organically so they get better LTV out of your ad campaigns. They have to keep them going. So if they know you're willing to pay, they should never let you rank organically again. And I think a lot of those are tinfoil conspiracy theories with no data to back them up. So in general, the effects I've seen from pay-per-click campaigns probably hover around the margin of error of being totally neutral and either, being positive or negative. Now, the value you can get for SEO is that you can very quickly, with a $50 budget, find out which keywords convert. And so which keywords are worth the time to SEO. If you're using it as a keyword research tool to figure out what targets are going to help the business, I think it's a wonderful tool set in that regard. What do you think, Clint?
Single instance thing that happened. I was ranking a page number 7. I wanted more clicks from it. I saw all these people running ads. So maybe this ads got to be good. Ran ads. Conversions from the ads sucked. Maybe my fault. Maybe the traffic fault. It was SEO related keywords. So I'm going to go with that. Just that keyword sucks. And that those terms don't find the customers that real SEOs want to find, right? Anyway, I was ranking fine, had the ads running fine, quality scores fine, shut off the ads, and my ranking disappeared. And it would never come back. So that would be a good, because it's a single instance. Correlation is not causation. It's good use of that overused statement, right? However, if you want to find out for yourself, go rank a page in the top 10 and then go run ads and then turn the ads off and see if it disappears. Then you tell us if SEO and Google ads are connected.
I like the idea of testing. I think I'm going to try that. I like that test idea. I think that's a good thing to do. Test it out in an unimportant place and see what happens.
Yep.
And, the other thing to keep in mind is that Google changes. So even if we have, one answer today, it might not be true tomorrow. And so you have to test. If you're not testing, you just don't know. Lee, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I have zero tested data on it, and I can and have argued on both sides of this particular issue just to fill it out. I mean, there's reasons why it makes sense. There's reasons why it wouldn't, and we have no freaking data whatsoever. We just have theories right now. So Nothing to add.
Yep. Best answer on this question, test it in a safe place. And then share those test results, because we would really like to know. All right. So let's see. Terry Power says, you've got me convinced, count me in. I assume that's about the digital unfiltered. So glad you're going to come hang out. That would be amazing.
That may have been on Clint's brand backlinks answer. Terry could be coming in on that one.
Yeah, it could be.
Clint was compelling.
What kind of redirects send link juice? My understanding is they all do. And which one does not? Because my understanding is there's one that's a permanent, there's one that's a temporary. And then Google may have canonicalization behaviors based on how long you leave those in place. So it might turn into a different type of citation.
302 change, yeah. If you leave it 302 place too long, Google just says, 6 months is pretty permanent to us, so we're changing it to 301.
Yeah, but my understanding is that while in effect, they all behave like an additional layer of linking. So it behaves like a backlink. So yeah, I would imagine it would work in either case for that duration. Let's see. Note about Google Search Console crawl stats. And this is from Charles Taylor, our resident enterprise SEO. Shows data for all Google bots, including ad bots. So that's interesting. I wonder how that complicates the matter. So yeah, I guess you could be crawled for advertising compliance and think that Google crawled you recently for indexing and updating your content. And so you could be mistaken depending upon which bot you got.
I think maybe you can point this. I think that kind of relates to an issue I see in mine, right? So it's looking for an ads.txt file. I don't run ads and I don't have any ads tracking or any of that, nor do I have an ads.txt file referenced anywhere on my site in the code or not. So it's throwing 404s for those. So maybe that would be where his knowledge of the ads bot is looking for that ads.txt file from somewhere and it can't find it. So it's, there you go, reporting all these 404s that I don't really have as a fault of my own, and it's not something that I could fix.
Yeah, that could be.
I wonder if that kind of noise is why it's good to know that information, that it's got multiple types of bots. Mm-hmm. And don't chase rabbit holes that you don't need to be chasing.
He followed up to say you can actually see a breakdown by bot, but you may have to dig a bit. So that's cool if you can actually know to dig deeper to get the Google bot versus the other bots. That might actually be helpful. But again, I wonder, is it a sampling of that data or is it authoritative? Because if it's only a sampling and you have an enterprise scale venture, it might not tell you what you're hoping to know. So yeah, we'd have to learn more about the data it's presenting as to what types of questions it might be able to answer. All right, so let's see. Any favorite lead generation tactics for getting SEO clients? Yeah, I'll tell you my number one. one is you want to figure out how to fix Googlebot getting into infinite crawls on online stores. If you know how to fix that SEO problem to make it so that Googlebot is not going into an infinite crawl on the faceted navigation, and Googlebot is not going into an infinite crawl on adding and removing products to carts, you can find leads using Google. You can search for in URL : add to cart puppy coffee mug, and you can find all of the places selling puppy coffee mugs where Google is adding them to cart. Then you can contact them and say, hey, I bet you're having a hard time getting new products indexed, and I think I know why. And you can find hundreds of thousands of them. It's limited to how many products can you search using this tactic. And all you have to do is know how to fix that one problem. You don't even need to be a guru of SEO. And you can just go around cookie cutter fixing this problem for businesses all day and all night. And you can send them screenshots. You can explain it in the email. You can show them screenshots of their website, of their add to cart stuff, of their faceted navigation appearing in Google search. So you know Googlebot crawled it. I mean, it's perfect. It's a challenge. It's an infinite number of SEO clients, and they're findable in search. And that's one of the many tactics for SEO easy mode that I talk about in my presentation at Digital Unfiltered. So there's a little, that's one of my slides. What do you think, Lee?
I think you only have 3 slides in your presentation, honestly. No, I don't do client work, so I don't have tactics for pulling in clients. So,
excellent. Any tactics, Clint?
Well, my clients come to me for digital ear, and then the franchises, that's all part of a big ass marketing thing. So sorry, I won't be able to help.
All right. Well, if you want more tips, I guess you'll have to come see my talk at Digital Unfiltered. All right, so let's see. All right, is it safe to start affiliate site on broad topics to chase the commission for highest paying affiliate programs, or would you stick to topical authority method and niche down one topic and grow step by step? Well, disclaimer, I am not great at affiliate. My problem with affiliate is I have a hard time chasing a 4 to 6% commission. And I realize that the hard part is getting the sale, and the easy part is sourcing the merchandise out of China. So I'm like, why get 6% when I could get 82%? And the cost of the inventory isn't very expensive. You just got to think 3 to 6 months in advance to stay in supply, and then you can make 86% instead of 6%. So my background is online retail. I'm kind of an expert at knowing that you can source for a quarter and sell for $25 in the US with free shipping. And it's really ergonomic and easy to pack those orders up at the end of the day and to drop them off at the post office on the way into work. So if your current employer allows moonlighting, it's really easy to get that 86% instead of the 6%. So because of that, I suck at affiliate. So what do you think, Lee? You're dabbling in affiliate.
yeah, I think the take the affiliate out of it. basically what you're talking about is ranking pages that, bring traffic and convert. And so what strategy would you use there? The strategy for affiliate top level is no different than the strategy for local or e-com or whatever. You're trying to get pages to rank, to get traffic so that you can sell something. You get the visitor to the page and, get the purchases. Now, there's informational keywords, those don't convert very well, but they do have traffic, and some of that traffic you can get them to click through to the pages that do convert well. So, just think of it from an SEO perspective. Don't think of it from an affiliate perspective so much, because that's where your answer is.
Yeah. And it depends what you're selling too. So if you're trying to break into solar, the save 5% when you sign up today coupon is not what drives the sales in solar. You have to educate people on the value and the benefits of doing, a solar install on a house. That's an education problem. And you're hoping that at the end of that education problem that they'll use your 5% discount code. So it really depends, because if you're selling, a really cool looking Maori jade pendant that is visually stunning and you have the best product photography, you don't need a discount code. The photo sells the product. You show it to the right audience and they want to buy. And so what you are selling matters a lot for that question.
Yeah. And you still need to rank somewhere for a necklace or pendant keyword in order to get people to see the stunning photography and click the buy button.
All right, let's see. If I create a page and add content just for the purpose of getting an exact match internal link, can I no index it and still get credit?
Yes.
But why?
Because Google's still, even though it's no index, Google's still crawling it, and Google is still recognizing that it's there. You can no index it, build a whole bunch of backlinks to it, and still pass that juice through. Technically, if you listen to SEO Twitter, that's not supposed to work, but it works all day long.
Are you saying that John Mueller and company might not be 100% accurate, sir?
Oh, they're 100% right, and as long as they continue their campaign to keep my competition dumber, I'm happy.
Love that answer. I just wonder about the why of it. Like, if you have an exact match page that's valuable to you, why should it not appear in search?
She's just looking for the exact match internal link. So it's kind of like, think about it this way. Like in local, we build geo supporting pages. So you have a page about Dallas and you do geo supporting pages about, restaurants in Dallas, places to go in Dallas, things to do in Dallas, those kind of pages. And sometimes clients don't want them up. So one good way to help prevent that is you can no index them. Now, I wouldn't do it because those actually bring in relevant local traffic to your website and help boost that up. However, that's a good thing to do that. Or let's say you're doing AI content, it's trash AI content, but you just want it so you can say, look, I've done this, I've approached it. I don't necessarily want people to read it. So you can apply the no index and get some exact match internals out of it. It's not something that I would recommend, but to answer the question, yeah, it'll pass juice. It'll go on. You'll still get credit for it. You can use the index PBNs. Dory Friend's got tons of those, and those are still ranking websites. So
instead of no indexing the valuable keyword page that your client does not want on their site, all right, another easy mode here. Let's just put it on a different domain. Just make a
That's not an
blog.
internal link though, and you're losing the internal link value that you get. So it's think about it. Remember when we talked about indexing, and my theory on indexing is if you don't link to yourself, if you write a piece of content and you don't link to yourself, then how good is it really? And the other side of that is if you don't get at least a small amount of links from these readers that we've given you for 3 months, then how good is it really? Those two tests right there is a good way for Google to go, all right, there's no backlinks, so I'm going to remove these from the index. So all those people that come crying to us, I built this 10,000 page mass site and I can only get a third of it indexed. Or indexing fine, and they all fell out. It's from the backlink stuff. So
that's
problem. Where you want to address some of that internal linking stuff. So, but again, it's not something. It's not I wouldn't do it. It seems like a waste of time to write a piece of content. If you're going to do exact match for internal link and just make a page, then I mean, I got a test on publishing today in SIA where the page is blank and you can get an exact match from just that. So why not just do that? I mean, but
the problem is scale, because you squander your crawl budget on these things internally. So you need to focus on what's critical to the business, and the stuff that's non-critical that you want to scale into.
You wouldn't link back to it. You would have a no index page that's all by itself, and then you'd send backlinks to it, and then it would go from the no index page. Theoretically, the bot would go backlink no index page to the pages you want, and then it crawls all this.
Yeah.
Just following your internal linking structure. So
it is possible to have a low value page, no indexed, and do real SEO work. I think some of the discussion here is whether or not that's the best use of a page.
And if you can have 10,000 of those, I am highly skeptical.
I think the helpful content update was the theorized score that John Mueller alluded to. The no index might actually help you out with that. So let's say you're building a local site and you use a lot of those geo articles, probably more than you should, and those are low quality. Ergo, your helpful content score goes down, which is applied to your entire website, right? In theory. So if you have all of those no indexed, now in theory, those pages have nothing to do with your helpful content score because you're not asking them to be in the search engines. And so you can make a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I don't trust the engineers to code that properly.
Yeah.
I
think it's a good theory. There's no way to, short of getting the algorithm and the patent to see if they actually applied it, there's no way that I conceivably say that you could test it.
You would have to find a damaged site, and that turned out to be the cure. That's the only way you'd be able to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
Cure it.
And then you would still be guessing. But still, I mean, it's a cool idea, Emily. I'm kind of tempted to go test it now and see what I can do with it. Like, what would it be how would you do it? How would you pull it off? I would probably use tag pages. I would use tag pages with some, I would use tag pages with some summaries in there, short summaries, put my links inside of the summaries, linking back to some related page or something, and build a bunch of them and set them to no index and see what happens. That would be the easiest way to test that.
All right, I think that is our last question. So unless there's any last second questions right now, I'm just going to say thank you to everyone, and to remind you to check out digitalunfiltered.com. Come attend. It's in Vegas. It's going to be a blast. And we're going to hang out and talk shop, and you can meet industry SEOs, and you can talk about that SEO problem you've been having and get a consult for probably free right there at the bar. Come check it out. It'll be worthwhile. And it's one of the more reasonably priced conferences too. A lot of the other conferences we did this year cost 3-4 times as much, so it's kind of a good value, especially for this lineup. I've seen people pay 3 to 4 times as much to hear the same set of speakers. So if you have not heard this set of speakers, I recommend that you consider this one. This is a great way to test the water at a lower price point, but it's Craig Campbell's first event. He's gonna overinvest. I'm pretty sure he's gonna learn all about the mistakes he's making and overinvesting in the first conference. And you don't want to go to number 2 where he learned those lessons. You want to witness it firsthand. So the big overabundance of value, it's usually in people's first conferences. So this is the one to go to. And we're talking Craig Campbell. The guy co-opted an adult star's identity to get an entity for SEO. It is in Vegas, so it's gonna be off the hook. So
And
check
if you
it out.
if you're thinking you really want to go, the room block code will save you. I booked mine yesterday using the room block code, and it saved me, I want to say, close to $1,000 in my room. So, and that code is expired on the 22nd. So you got till the end of this week to take advantage of that, and then you're paying full price for those rooms.
Yeah, rooms normally, they're $99 a night with that particular code block, and they're normally 400 and something a night. So yeah, there's a lot of savings by.
Yeah, I upgraded. I used the code. And then upgraded my room, so I got the discount on the upgraded room. So
So there you go. There's the secret to getting the honeymoon suite at Caesar's Palace.
yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Let me check for any last second. The code is just for the conference days, right? Yeah, it's for the event.
It applied to all the days. I'm getting there Sunday and leaving Friday, and that's what, 3 extra days, and they applied it to all.
Oh, sweet. So exploit right there. Put a affordable family vacation onto the event and get the better room rate.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting
There's a min max. All right, guys. Thanks so